Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is your guy Keenan Lambert, and in this video we are here back in La Havana. In this video I want to talk to you guys about something that I'm passionate about. It's about getting American citizens to Cuba, and in this video I'm just going to go over and reaffirm that you can still do it in 2025 and beyond.
I don't expect you guys to be into the same things that I am, but the reality is that Cuba has something. It has something for everybody.
So I'm going to say this part very slowly. You do not need some sort of special visa to get into Cuba as an American citizen. There is a tourist card that is often referred to as a visa, but it's simply a money thing. You go online, you pay for it, it's immediately sent to you. The process to get into Cuba is rather simple. Just like with any other destination, it starts with you booking a flight. So you go online. I prefer to go to Google Flights. You choose your home airport, and then you choose your destination within Cuba.
The Dominican Republic has elected to destroy Sosua, its town for adult activity on the North Coast. That's left a lot of Americans looking for a new zone of activity. Allow me to propose La Havana. My invite comes with a warning: the unbridled buffoonery that people get away with in Sosua is not tolerated in Havana. If you're going to enjoy Havana, you have to unlearn certain toxic Yankee behaviors. For the Sosua crew, check in with my guy Buddha Wilson before you do anything. He'll keep you straight while you're in Cuba, let you know how to move. At the time of publishing, the current offerings to Cuba are American Airlines, Southwest, and Delta. If you live close to the borders, you have Aeromexico via Tijuana, and then you have Canadian Airlines via Montreal, Toronto, Calgary. If you're flying via another country, the visa process is a little different.
So when traveling via a country that is not the United States, so say if you sneak off into Toronto, Montreal, Calgary, or Vancouver, you take the flight directly to Cuba, you're actually given that visa for free. It is a little green tourist card. Also, if you go through Panama, you're again given that green tourist card. But through Panama, you do have to pay $20. If you're willing to travel via Panama on one ticket, you can fly with Copa Airlines, Panama's national carrier.
Copa allows you to fly to your destination via Panama, and the good thing is you're allowed a free stopover in Panama.
At this current moment, the price of the visa is a little bit under $100. It is an e-visa that the United States is using going forward into 2026. Now, you purchase the visa online, it's sent to you immediately, and then when you're filling out your D Viajeros form, essentially the form that you fill out to enter Cuba, right? When you're going online and you're filling that out, you put in the numbers that are listed on the visa that's immediately sent to you after you pay for it. So once you go ahead and you essentially pass that administrative block that's in your way, you can come to Cuba and essentially do whatever you want. Now, right now, you can either book directly with a hotel, right? Hopefully one that's privately owned, that is not owned in part by the Cuban government, or you can book a private homestay. Okay, for those of you guys that would like some place that's recommended, you guys can stay where I stay. I love to stay in the Hall of Champions.
In the Hall of Champions, you have 100% private bachelor pads in the shadows of the Capitolio. They range from 25 to 40 per night. But if you want something that's a little bit more fit for you and the wife,
here we have the living room area. Okay, nice and spacious. Mirrors on the wall. Okay, you can get some interesting action going with that. Watch yourself eating or whatever. Here you have the kitchen, right? Nice new appliances, except for the stove. The stove might be a little bit old, but you know, that means that it served very well, okay? Got some stainless steel countertops. Very communist, love it. Let me show you guys, I said that was the living room. I'm sorry, that's actually the dining room, I guess. This is the living room right over here, okay? All right, you see you got different color of pillows. I love that. Okay, let's go out to the balcony. The balcony is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. The window's open, so you have the option of enjoying the natural elements or staying sheltered from the natural elements.
Down the hall is the bedroom. The pink tint to the room is perfect for you and a significant other. Really sets the mood. And then the bathroom is super modern, at the caliber that you'd find in the States.
Here within the Hall of Champions, there's about 10 different apartments that you can stay in. And then you also have the apartment, which I really love, over on Calle Barcelona. Okay, that is definitely my favorite. It has beautiful balconies. Okay, you get all the noise coming in from the street. You can see people passing by. If you're into something that you see passing by, you can wave them on in, right? That sort of thing.
The Barcelona apartment is my favorite base of operations here in Cuba. This is where I do my best interviews.
The way that's most appreciated by locals is if you book directly with them. You can book through Airbnb, okay? In many cases, the Airbnb links are there, but it most benefits them when you book directly through them. So reach out to me and I will give you my host's WhatsApp information. And when you're here, he will treat you like family. I'll put an Airbnb link below that you can go ahead and use to select, or you can actually reach out to me and I will go ahead and get you in contact with that host. So at the current moment, there are 11 reasons why the United States government will allow its citizens to visit Cuba. My favorite one, the one that I use the most, is support for the Cuban people. Now I could probably use the journalistic activities route, but in order to avoid complication, in order to put a veil over that tourism, we call it support for the Cuban people. You will see people often say that you cannot visit Cuba for touristic purposes. Technically, that's true. Technically, it's true. The United States government will not allow you to visit for tourism, but support for the Cuban people is a very thinly veiled form of tourism. So many of you may have heard about the debacle that is food here in Cuba. Now, in many locations, the food is downright terrible. It's not the freshest. That's 100% true. However, there are some restaurants that are getting the best and freshest materials. Sure, you might have to pay a little bit more. But you're getting the best food. Let me give you my recommended list. First, let's go with Antojos. With Antojos, you're getting a spin on comida criolla. You're getting fresh ingredients that are coming from here directly within the country and from other parts of the Caribbean. Excellent Caribbean Latin cuisine. If you want a good sort of generalist restaurant that does everything well, like you want that Latin flair, you want a little bit of Italian, you want some American influence stuff, I would recommend that you go to El Bicky. Okay, El Bicky has excellent food, solid prices. I mean, if it was a restaurant in the States, you'd be paying at least double. Okay, but El Bicky is a solid choice that I recommend all of you go with. Whether you're staying in Centro or if you're staying in Vedado, it's kind of there right smack dab in the middle.
And then you have Ricardon, which is a little bit more expensive, but it's worth the experience. You have a robot come out to bring your food along with your server. I wish I found this restaurant earlier on in my Cuba process. Now, this is a general rule for whenever you travel, but whenever you go to Cuba, make sure you bring diarrhea pills. You never know what could set you off.
Maybe you don't want a complete meal, but you want a little snack. Hit up Mimi's Cafe. Okay, Mimi's Cafe is an awesome black-owned spot, owned by a guy who speaks really, really good English. Okay, hit up that spot. You can get sweet stuff, little sandwiches. Great little spot that I recommend. Transportation. Transportation when you're here in Havana should be the least of your worries. Okay, I know that maybe some of you don't speak Spanish, so you're a little bit worried about how that process goes. Will they try to rip you off? Most likely, okay? However, there are different modes of getting around, and I'm gonna actually talk about a few of them. One of them is private taxi. With this one, they will charge you the most. Okay, if you are to go across town, they might try to beat you over the head and charge you 15. Okay, ensure that you can at the very least beat them down to 10 if it is a private taxi. Route taxis. Okay, route taxis tend to be the most economical option. Okay, at nighttime they charge a little bit more, but they're fairly economical. They're going to charge you somewhere under $1 to travel a particular route. Okay, generally for me, what I like to do is I like to travel from Old Havana Central, going out to the beginning side of Vedado. Okay, that's generally where I like to do my party. Sometimes I do it here in Centro, but oftentimes I range out to Vedado and I enjoy that. Okay, bike taxi. Okay, the bike taxis, those guys are the hardest working guys in Havana. Okay, their rates are also extremely affordable. You can essentially go across town, across the neighborhood, a good mile and a half for about $1. Okay. The bus in Havana is the absolute most economical way to travel around. It is virtually free. You're gonna throw a couple of pesos at them, and then you're on the bus and you're riding to the route that you want to go to. Finding the map for the bus is often, the most difficult. You have to have a little bit of a grasp for geography in order to take the bus around. Okay? If you're going to ride the bus, be sure to secure your belongings. On certain occasions, individuals use that close proximity that they have to other individuals to go ahead and try to take things. Okay, Cuba is a very, very safe place. However, things still do happen. Okay, majority of the time it's not by force, might be a old school pickpocket, but things do happen. So make sure when you're here, you ten cuidado, all right?
Do me and yourself a favor and never carry a wallet in Havana. Check down in the product section below, but what you need is a money belt. You can use it to hold your pesos, your ID, and even your phone. Wear it underneath your clothes, up against your torso. It'll save you a lot of headaches in Havana.
Now, some of you good brothers ask me, hey Keenan, what kind of money should I bring? Am I good with my card? Can I use US dollars? I'm gonna give you the best way to go about this, all right? First off, do not come here with your card and expect to use it. There's certain locations, right, maybe in hotels or out in Verdero, where you can get away with it, right? But there's an economic blockade where your card will not work here in Cuba. You must bring cash with you. Okay, you bring cash with you, and the best thing to do is to get it exchanged into Cuban currency. Okay, the best currencies that you can bring: US dollar, euro, pound. Okay, those currencies, you bring them and you exchange them for Cuban currency. Do not use government cash exchange houses. You will not get the best rate. And also, do not look online and then take that 24-to-1 conversion rate and think that's what the actual rate is. 24-to-1 is not the actual rate. The 130-to-1 that the government change houses uses is also not the real rate. The real rate of exchange right now for the last 2 years has been dancing anywhere between 400-to-1 and 300-to-1. Anywhere within that range, it's been dancing for the last couple of years. That is the real rate of exchange. For those of you that need a change place, if you want change delivered directly to you, ask me. Okay, my email address is there. I'll put my IG down below. You can reach out to me and I will get you that information that you need. Okay, I can't exactly say it here because technically it's not 100% sanctioned. Okay, you can also go with your Airbnb host. Your Airbnb host can go ahead and provide you with some cash as well. Cuba is an extremely poor nation. Individuals here are down bad. However, when you're traveling here, you're not going to have to worry about being robbed outright. Oftentimes, the robbery comes in commission ways, if that makes sense. It comes as a commission. Okay, say you're seeking to go out to a place, right? Say you're alone. You're seeking to go out, do some nightlife stuff. And some guy, random guy that you've never seen in your life, right? He's probably seen you again and again, decides to walk up to you. Okay, he might lead you off to a club, right? Then speak to the individuals out front and essentially get commission off of bringing you in. Okay, you might have it in your mind to go to a location that you've seen me go to or another YouTuber go to, and that individual will tell you, oh yeah, that place is closed, and they'll get you to deviate off into this place. Certain restaurants also work with these street gentlemen, right, in order to get you into their place and for you to pay more. Okay, so be very, very careful. If somebody's giving you a restaurant recommendation, ensure that it's coming from a trusted source. Your Airbnb host, excellent. Okay, if you hear it from me, you'll be fine. Okay, these dudes here on the street, understand that there are not a lot of ways for them, the street dudes, to make money, right? So you as a tourist, provide a bit of that in them getting commission off of taking you places, right? And so instead of you paying what locals pay, you're gonna be paying potentially double or triple, okay? If somebody ever invites you to Sky Green Restaurant, okay, you tell them absolutely not, okay? That restaurant is designed to scam tourists. Don't do it.
So you guys want to know where to go to party, right? First up, I'll say VNS Club. That's where you find all your bad girls here in Cuba. Then you have La Factoria, Fábrica de Arte Cubano. Okay, that's a museum, party space, live concert space, all in one. Third, you have Primera y Setenta. It's a little bit distant, it's far out west, but it's a complex of clubs. Kind of reminds you of Mexico, partying in Mexico out in Cancun, Playa del Carmen. Fourth, you have F.A. Bar. Okay, F.A. is a vibe, usually gets going late, past 12. 5, you have Portico. If you want ultra Cuban vibes, you go to Portico. Get there early because it fills up fast. And 6th, you have LAM. You want to feel like you're in Miami? Touch LAM. And last one, you have Organic Cuba. Okay, follow them, they have roving parties. That's more so for my young guns. So for those of you who want to see Cuba, who want to tour Cuba, know more about Cuba, I've got my tour guides. This is my child, Alina. Hit her up on IG if you're about the business. And then you got the killer from Camagüey, Lisbeth. Super hardworking, super intelligent. She's really good for historical tours. Hit her up. And then you've got my spicy sister from Santiago, Diana, aka Melanin in Havana, here on YouTube. I definitely want you guys to hit her up if you want a more cultural experience. You want that barrio feel, you want that Afro Cuba, hit her up. And then also you have the hyper professional, her best friend Camila. Okay, Camila's information is up above.
When it comes to meeting women out in the streets, okay, I've done plenty of videos on that. There are different ways you can go about it. Okay, you can simply pull up strong on whatever you see. The ladies that pull up on you are usually no good. Okay, stay clear of those. Right, then you also have the online game. Okay, there are a lot of guys who are going online and they're finding success in those ways. Okay, be careful because half those young ladies are again looking for something. You're a foreigner, you make a lot more money than them, right? But whatever you do, just go ahead, have fun, and be safe. Emphasis on being safe.
I know some of you are gonna ask me, hey Keenan, where they at though? Okay, well you have San Rafael Boulevard. Then you have Galeano. They're also on Galeano late at night. Then you have Malecon and also Prado.
I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.